Welcome to JBDC's Virtual Biz Zone. My name is Dania Bennett, your host for the afternoon session. And we are very happy to have you here today, and we're looking forward to a very exciting program with our presenter. Okay, this time slot, if you're no stranger here, you'll know this time slot is facilitated by the JBDC's Technical Services Department. And the Technical Services Department is the arm of JBDC that assists clients with their product development needs from concept to market. And we have embarked on a series of very interesting topics over the last couple of weeks, you know, ranging from queue management. We have looked at My Design DNA. We have looked at mass production for sewn products. And we have also looked at convenient catering during COVID. Today's topic is actually as a result of a special request from that workshop, Convenient Catering during COVID, where persons actually expressed an interest in finding or getting additional information on children's menus. So you asked and we decided to provide it for you. So welcome to today's session. And our presenter today is no stranger to this platform. She was here in our last session. She was one of the presenters, and her name is Miss Alicia Lindsay, Food Service Development Specialist here at the JBDC. She is a part of the Technical Services Department. And Miss Lindsay has almost 30 years of experience in the food industry, and that is because she actually started out while she was in high school. She later attended the Trust NTA, where she obtained certification in food preparation levels 1 and 2, and she subsequently went to UTech or graduated from UTech with her bachelor's in food service management. So she's no stranger to the food industry. You know, she's very qualified to be dealing with this topic today. So I would like to welcome her. Please remember, if you're here for the very first time, please note that we will be facilitating questions at the end of the seminar. So all you need to do is to just indicate at that time by clicking on the icon or typing your question in the chat. So without any further delay, I would like to welcome our host for today, our presenter rather, Miss Alicia Lindsay. So Alicia, welcome again.
Thank you, Dania. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So today we'll be discussing convenient catering part 2. We'll be talking about incorporating a child's menu into your regular restaurant menu, okay? No. With the unfolding of the current global event, the food service industry faced a drastic decrease in sales. And this event has caused a shift in our business model. We have to step outside the box, outside our previous normal. We have to recognize that adopting, evolving, and diversifying in finding the new normal is imperative in ensuring that our business remains a going concern. And one of the ways that we have recognized in doing this is by meeting our consumer needs, right? One of the needs, or one of the focus areas that we have been looking at is a previously overlooked segment of our market, which is the children. We haven't really been paying, a lot of us have not really been paying attention to that group, right? So why should we incorporate a children's menu into our regular restaurant menu? Well, for one, children are not miniature adults. Children have their own preferences. They have their own palates and tastes. Children have different nutritional needs than adults. They do not eat the same way adults do. That is one of the reasons why we should think about incorporating a children's meal. The next is we have a lot of parents coming into our restaurants or ordering from us, right? And they have children. It is hard. I'm a parent myself, and I know it can be really hard to go through a menu and find items that is suitable for your child, right? From a regular adult menu. You have to be thinking about, is it spicy? Is it too much? And then of course you'll have your child who say they don't like this or they don't like that, right? So you have to be bearing all of that in mind to order something that your child would eat and it would be good, right? So with you incorporating or having a separate menu for your child, for children in particular, then it would make the parents' job a lot easier, and you can choose what it is you like, and you know your child will find something that they like, and everybody will be happy. The other is increased sales. Now, for most parents, myself included, when I am purchasing from a restaurant, whether takeout or dining, most of the times, because I know my son doesn't eat a lot, I'm not going to order a full portion for him, especially since they don't offer a kids menu. Offering a full portion is, she's going to eat a little quarter, a little bit of it, and then we'll have to take it home. And most times it's not what I want. So, you know, in the end, I'll order something I don't really want to share with him so that we're not wasting money. So when you have a child menu involved, then you know the parents will order what they want and the child will also get what he wants. And that would actually increase sales. Now that we have discussed why it would be beneficial for your business to include a children's menu, let's look at factors to consider when planning your children's menu. If you're going to offer a children's menu, it should reflect the same standard you have already put in place for your other menu. It can be a big turnoff for parents if the menu includes all kinds of thoughtfully prepared foods for adults, while the children's menu feels like an afterthought. It can send the impression that you are not a family-friendly place, even if you truly are, right? So you have to bear that in mind when you're going to plan your children's menu. You also have to decide what kind of menu it's going to be. Is it going to be a fixed menu? Is it going to be a du jour menu, as in what is offered for the day? Are you going to make it cyclical? Is it going to run for a few weeks and then you're going to change it, keep it fresh, keep it popping? You have to think about that. You also have to choose your target market. What age group of the kids' age group are you interested in? Are you going to be targeting all of them, right? What is the parents' age group, which is even more important? Because we find that younger millennial parents are more interested in ensuring that their kids eat healthy. And that is going to translate and show in what they order for their kids. So if you ensure that you have healthy options, then you know you'll be targeting that group, right? What location are you going to be targeting? Are you going to be offering ordering service, takeout, delivery, curbside service? How far or how wide will you be offering this service, right? And you also have to think about the preferences of your target market. We know that different children from different areas have different preferences, and you have to bear that also in mind when you are deciding, what you're going to be putting on your menu. Some of today's kids are labeled foodies, and that is kid foodies, and they have very refined palates, right? Especially kids who are in urban areas, kids who watch a lot of TV, who have traveled abroad and is exposed to a wider range of foods beyond our local Jamaican fare. So we also have to think about that when planning our children's menu. Current menu. You have to look over your regular menu and see where there are items on your menu that can be adjusted for children, right? So you might have a grilled chicken breast on your menu, and you can actually change just adjust the amount of spices that you use in that, and cut it up, use it as a pizza topping, or serve it with a dip, right? Just cut it into strips and serve it with a dip, and you'll have an option, right? You might already have fruit as well. You can use it to make a fruit plate or a fruit salad, right? If you already have cooked beans, you can puree those beans, cook it down in a bit of coconut milk, and make a nice, healthy dipping sauce or dip, right? The other consideration is your nutritional or dietary needs of children. The nutritional criteria for kids in total for a day, or their daily calorie intake in suggestion, is 1,500 to 3,000 calories, to 3,000 calories per day. So for our restaurants, we normally have a range that you normally have each kid meal in caloric in total be in, and that is normally 600 to 900 calories per meal, and we try to keep it within that, so that we have to think about the health of our children and ensure that they are not overweight and stuff like that. We also, and bearing that in mind, you know that the serving portions will be smaller for the children than for the adults. Of course, if you are planning your menu, it would be a good idea to consult with a dietitian or someone of the a medical specialist if you are concerned about the nutritional content and the nutritional requirements of children, and if you're not sure. All right. So here we have a chart showing the portion size for children aged 1 to 10. Right? And you'll see there's food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, meats and other protein, and dairy. The servings per day, right? For most children, or for all children, the servings per day remains constant. So for fruits, it's 2 to 3 servings per day. For 1 to 3-year-old, it's quarter cup of frozen or canned, half piece of fresh, quarter cup 100% orange juice. For the portion size for the age group 4 to 6, we have quarter cup cooked or frozen or canned, half piece of fresh fruit, or 1/3 cup 100% juice. The portion size for age group 7 to 10 is 1/3 cup cooked, 1 piece of fresh fruit, and half cup 100% juice. Please note that the portion size for age group 7 to 12 is the same as the portion size for age groups 7 to 10. All right? Now for vegetables, again, it's 2 to 3 servings per day. It's quarter cup for 1 to 3-year-old, quarter cup of cooked, that is, quarter cup of cooked for 4 to 6 and half cup of salad. For 7 to 12, it's half cup of cooked and 1 cup of salad. So you can use these as your guide for when you're plating for your children's menu. Grains. For grains, they should have 6 to 11 servings, right? So for portion size for the 1 to 3 is half slice of bread, quarter cup of cooked rice or pasta, 1/3 cup of dried cereal, 1 to 3 crackers. For 4 to 6, you have half slice bread, 1/3 cup of rice or cereal or pasta, half cup dry cereal, 3 to 4 crackers. For 7 to 10 is 1 slice of bread, half cup cooked rice or pasta or cooked cereal, 3/4 to 1 cup of dried cereal, 4 to 5 cups of crackers. So if you notice, there's a small incremental increase as the age group goes along. So you see from 1 to 3, then it goes up a little bit from 1 to 6, and then a little bit more from 7 to 10. So that is why you have to think about the age group that you're going to be catering for when you're actually planning your children's menu. So for meats and other protein, you need only 2 servings per day. 1 ounce of meat, fish, chicken, or tofu, quarter cup cooked beans, and half an egg for 1 to 3. 1 ounce meat, fish, chicken, or tofu, 1/3 cup cooked beans, and 1 egg for 4 to 6. And for 7 to 12, you'd have 2 to 3 ounces of meat, fish, chicken, or tofu, half cup of cooked beans, and 1 to 2 eggs. So normally the serving portion for adults with eggs is 2 eggs. So you see it's basically pretty close as they get older. Dairy, 2 to 3 servings per day. For 1 to 3-year-old, it's half cup of milk, half ounce cheese, 1/3 cup yogurt. For 4 to 6, it's half cup milk, 1 ounce cheese, half cup yogurt. And for 7 to 12, it's 1 cup milk, 1 ounce cheese, and 3/4 to 1 cup of yogurt. So you can use this as your guide, as I said, for portioning for your children's menu. You have to ensure that you have balance in your menu, especially for children's menu. If you have noticed for most of the places that offer a kids menu, mainly like in fast food places and so on, you'll notice if you are a parent or someone who is very concerned about children's health, you'll notice that the menu is very limited. You have protein, you have carbohydrates, and then you have more carbohydrates with the soda, right? And there's no vegetable option. It is very, very important to curate a menu of items that balances the carbohydrates, the protein, the saturated fats and fiber, and the flavor, right? And you need to meet both the macro and micronutrient requirements of the children. You also have to bear in mind that there are persons with special dietary needs. And these could be vegans and vegetarians. And also you have to think about persons who are gluten-free and stuff like that. So you have to ensure that when planning your menu, you ensure that you have items on the menu for kids who are vegan or vegetarian. And you know, once the parents is vegan and vegetarian, the kids are also vegan and vegetarian. One of the major factors to consider when planning a children's menu is food precautions, right? Choking. Choking is one of the major injuries that a child it's basically almost a majority of choking incidents is basically almost always kids or children, right? and it's normally associated with foods that are small and round, right? So when you're planning your menu for small children, you try your best to avoid these food items. And if you have to put them on the menu, such as a cherry tomato or grapes, you cut them so that they can't so easily just slip down the child's throat and cause a choking hazard, right? If you know that you have small particles in a particular item on your children's menu, ensure that you place a caution statement on those menu items so that the parents will know that there are small items in there and be mindful of them. The next is intolerances. Now, intolerances are mild, non-threatening ailments, right? It's not life-threatening. It's something that is similar to allergies, but it's not as bad, right? Like lactose intolerant, and you might have hives, you might itch, diarrhea and stuff, but it's not going to kill you. You also have to be mindful of intolerances. Now, intolerances, I guess, is allergic reaction, but a mild allergic reaction, which is separate from severe allergic reaction. Now, severe allergic reaction, this is life-threatening, and you have allergens such as tree nuts, fish, shellfish, peanuts, wheat, eggs, and these are just to name a few, right? And you have to ensure that you put, as I said before, a caution label or an allergen label on items with on your menu items with these ingredients in it to avoid anyone having any kind of allergic or intolerances to the items that you have on your menu, right? Now, you have to also be very, very clean. You have to, one of the main things that you have to bear in mind is that young children are more at a risk for foodborne illnesses than adults because their immune systems are still developing. So you have to ensure that all the hygiene practices that we discussed last week, you have to ensure that those are in effect, right? You have to ensure that the food is packaged safe and stay safe until the child consumes it, right? One of the changes that has been going on since this event, this global pandemic, is that consumer trends have been changing. Consumer trends have been changing a lot, right? Parents have also changed. According to Karen Cicero, a nutritional editor at the Parents magazine, she says, parenting has changed and parents are recognizing the importance of feeding their children healthy food from day one. Right? And this is not just parents in the US, this is parents everywhere. We are thinking about ensuring that we're boosting our immune system. We're ensuring that our kids are eating healthy and we want them to stay strong, right? So one of the ways to adjust to this trend is to offer healthier options, such as offering less fried cooking options on your menu and offering more plant-based protein. We can focus on local ingredients. And I know most of our restaurateurs and our caterers, persons in the food industry already does, focus and purchase mainly from our local producers and farmers. So we can continue doing that or doing it even more. Buy fresh seasonal foods. They are of the best quality, best price, and we know we'll get it fresh. For the children's menu, you're going to need to avoid nitrates, excessive or excess additives, unnatural fillers, and processed foods. And always remember, when you're planning your children's menu, you cannot, no matter how, you just cannot please everyone, okay? You cannot please everyone. It's simply not possible. You will run into a kid or a child who will only eat pizza or plain pasta with just butter on it or some other issue, but you will not be able to please everyone. So it would be futile for you to try. So we have discussed factors to consider when planning a children's menu, and we know all that. Now, there's one other thing you have to think about. You know all the factors to plan your children's menu, but will the child eat it? Will they want it? Now, let's look at how to plan a menu with child appeal, something that will make them buy into the concept. 1, offer choices. Children love choices, right? And you offering choices eliminate arguments and ensure that everyone is happy, even the picky eaters, right? Get the children involved, such as including customizable or make it your own, build your own options. And these are, for example, choosing your own toppings on your pizza, picking your own pasta to topping to sauce, and so on, right? Use flavorful toppings. And the other thing is you can hide your vegetables in your sauce. And the reason I'd say that is because children tend to gravitate towards sweet things and avoid bitter things, right? And that is why a host of vegetables are not really liked by children. So if you use cheese toppings on, say, your broccoli, or include pureed vegetables in your marinara or your tomato sauce, it would render the vegetables that are less liked more appealing, or even in some cases they don't even know they're eating it, such as in the sauce, and everybody is happy. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. Put food on the menu that kids will love. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be convoluting. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be complicated. Just keep it simple. If it's noodles with the sauce and your protein and your vegetables, right? Just simple. Children love to dip. And we can tell that whenever we go anywhere and you have chicken nuggets with ketchup or the sweet and sour sauce, they spend the whole time dipping. Not so much eating, but the whole time dipping. Children love to dip, right? So you can offer fruit slices with a nice dipping sauce, or vegetable sticks with Thousand Island dressing or a cheese sauce, right? And they'll eat the vegetables because they'll be busy dipping. One of the all-time favorites is also noodles. Whether it's macaroni, spaghetti, elbow, the filled varieties such as ravioli, it doesn't matter. They just love noodles. So including noodles in your menu will ensure that your menu is a sure hit. Make it fun, right? Make it fun. Children love fun. Create colorful children's menu. Use fun names for your foods, right? Do fun or funny food plating that they would enjoy when they see it. Make it interesting. Use a variety of cooking techniques or methods, a variety of colors, and try different shapes. ensure that your food items on your children's menu is tasty. You need it to be flavorful without being spicy. You have to also consider the plating. When you're plating for older kids, they like when their meal is plated like an adult. So when you can use that and ensure that whatever the adult version is plated like, the junior version is plated like, right? And this makes your kids feel special, separate. When doing your menu, especially if you decide that you're going to be catering to different age groups and different food requirements, or if you're going to have a special section, for vegans or vegetarians, separate your sections. You can separate it by the age, by the menu item, such as junior and big kids section. You can also separate it by entree and sides and dessert items and juices, but you use separate sections. Put pictures in it. Picture it, right? Put pictures. And if you're going to put pictures, ensure that your pictures is the actual, if you're going to be using real pictures, ensure that the picture that you include is the actual picture of the item, because a study shows that kids or children pay special attention to that. They love a lot of colors, and if the picture on the menu looks a particular way, they expect the meal to look the same way. Lastly, after putting your menu together and running it for a while, always ensure that you periodically evaluate your meals and your menu. And you do this to ensure that you maintain customer satisfaction. All right, so that is very important. Now here we have some examples of children's menu, right? And if you notice at the top it says kids 12 and under, right? So it's a kids menu, and if you notice, you'll see going after you see the main menu, you'll notice it says menu includes junior or big kids entree plus a side and a beverage. And you'll see the choices for the juniors and the choices for the big kids. Right? So this is one way to design your menu to ensure that everyone is accounted for. The parents don't have to be reading through, or the child don't have to be reading through the entire menu to find the section that really applies to that child. Next one is this kids menu from Smitty's, and it shows, again, it's for ages 10 and under. And this is really a breakfast menu. And if you notice, you'll see an apple cakes in the middle here that looks like a smiley bear, right? So you know already that that is for the younger children. And you'll notice that it's actually plated items that is prepared, So as you know from our previous discourse, once the item is shown as in real, in food item, the child will expect that it's apple cakes to be plated looking just like the apple cakes on the menu. So that's another idea. And lastly, this is a third kids menu. You notice you have a special menu, dessert menu, drink menu, combo set 1 and 2. So you notice there is separation. So if a child looks at the menu and they know that it's pizza or whatever they want, they know exactly where to choose that, instead of reading through a long list like adult would. All right. Now here are some menu items for children's menu. Okay. So these are some items. Through our research, we have compiled a list of items that are healthy. It's not really the usual fare. I mean, 1 and 2 of the usual things are there. But we have, as you can see, it's an extensive list of items that can be included in your child's menu or children's menu, right? So you have beef chili, chicken or beef ravioli, and you can also have cheese ravioli, chicken fingers, pizza pocket, chicken tenders, meatballs, chicken marinara, crunchy fish fillet, frank and beans, chili, mini pizza, pizza casserole, fish fingers, honey mustard wings, barbecue drumstick, grilled fish fillet, and normally you use a nice mild white fillet for that one, as well as for the honey glazed fish fillet, chicken kebab, crispy sticky spare ribs, vegan barbecue wings, shrimp kebab, chicken wings, and chicken and shrimp Alfredo. For the vegan section, you can have, well, there's a vegan wings up there, but yes, vegan chili, vegan kebab, lentil balls, veggie burgers, sweet and sour tofu, and orange crunchy tofu bites. Now, we have recipes for some of them, not all. So we have chosen some that's on this list, some that's not, and we have recipe for those coming up shortly. All right. Now we have the sides, and you have a baked sweet potato wedges, sweet potato fries, cheesy polenta or vegetable polenta, because you know you'll have persons who are lactose intolerant and they won't be able to have the cheese, so you have to bear that in mind. Cheesy fries, orange glazed string beans, vegetable rice pilaf, loaded mac and cheese, vegetable sticks, which is basically vegetables cut in sticks and offered with a dip, fruit or apple slices, yam salad. If you're going to be doing the yam salad, there isn't a recipe for the yam salad. We're not going to be doing a recipe for the yam salad. However, if you're going to be doing the yam salad, I normally recommend that you use a white yam, a softer yam, and not really the yellow yam, which is so firm, okay? Creamy, sauteed callaloo, stir-fried vegetables, breadfruit chips, glazed carrots, pressed plantain, herb roasted pumpkin, tasty corn and peas, cheesy broccoli bites, loaded baked potatoes, potato bites, grilled chicken salad, ruby salad, sweet potato salad, breadfruit salad, fruit salad, mango salad, and small blooming onions. And a lot of persons would be thinking, salad, kids don't like salads. Well, that's not really true. A lot of children really love vegetables and love salads. So having at least a choice of 2 or 3 would be a good idea for your children's menu. Now we're going to be looking at different sauces. There's a peanut sauce. Of course, if you're going to be offering this sauce, peanut sauce, you have to put a disclaimer or a caution note in statement stating that peanuts is used on your facility. So if a person with peanut allergy, and most time peanut allergies are severe, they will know that peanut is used there and they wouldn't really be shopping there. So they wouldn't have the allergic reaction that peanuts cause, right? So a lot of food facilities, food service in restaurants or caterers tend to shy away from using peanuts in any shape or form. So you have marinara sauce, cheese sauce, honey mustard sauce, honey garlic sauce, chimichurri sauce, pumpkin vegetable puree, Thousand Island dressing, ranch dressing, tartar sauce, tomato salsa or pico de gallo, coconut curried pumpkin dip, mixed fruit puree, carrot, hummus, sweet and sour sauce, mango relish, mango sauce, sweet mild pepper jelly, and that is the one that's made with the sweet pepper, not with the hot pepper, and curried chickpea dip. And this can be plain curried chickpea dip, or you can put a coconut curried chickpea dip, which is just as delicious. All right. Children menu combination and variation ideas. Now, here are some children menu combinations that can work on a menu. So we have cornflakes, crusted baked fish with breadfruit mash, glazed broccoli, and carrots. And the breadfruit mash is basically boiled breadfruit and mashed with butter and a little seasoning, just like you would do in mashed potatoes. Tofu taco, and that is crunchy tofu served with vegetable slaw, avocado wrapped in a warm corn or flour tortilla. And you can serve this with fresh fruit, sweet potato, zucchini fries, and of course, a dipping sauce. Sweet and sour chicken. And this is one of my kids' favorite things. Sweet and sour chicken with the sauce served separately, because one loves the sauce on the rice and one doesn't love the sauce in it at all, other than to dip. With rice and steamed vegetables. Butter fried fish with cheesy polenta and garlic buttered string bean. Spaghetti and meatball in marinara sauce with string beans or broccoli, and of course with a cheese sauce. And of course you'll serve that separately for dipping, if they want to dip it separately. All right, so we are now on to the sample recipes. As I've said before, we are not going to be previewing or showing all the recipes that are on the list. We have chosen some in the interest of time. Of course, if you wish to acquire any of the ones that are not on the list, you are free to contact me, as I'm sure Miss Bennett will tell you. All right, so here we have cornflakes crusted fish. And for this, this is approximately, sorry about that, approximately 250 calories per serving, and it serves 4 to 6 kids servings. Right? You will need 1 to 1 1/4 pounds fish fillet, 2 tablespoons butter melted, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, ½ teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, freshly grounded if you have a grinder. If not, the other will work just fine. 2 cups of cornflakes, and you will need that crushed. So you can put it in a bag and just use a rolling pin, or you can put it in a food processor. Now, to make this, you're going to heat your oven, and yes, it is baked, not fried. Heat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease a sheet pan or a baking pan, whichever one. Right. If your fish fillet is large, you're going to cut it into the serving portions. And remember the chart that the table that we looked at earlier. So you would see the serving portions for fish, right? Which I think is 2 ounces, depending on, again, the age group. So you're going to cut into serving size portions. You're going to combine your butter and your lemon juice in a bowl and set it aside. In a small bowl or cup, you're going to mix your salt and pepper. Put your cornflakes in a wide, shallow bowl. You're going to dip each piece of fish in your butter and lemon mixture. Then you're going to sprinkle it with your salt mixture, and then you're going to coat your fillet strips or pieces in your cornflakes crumbs. After you have completed doing that, you're going to place your fillet in your prepared pan, and you're going to bake it until the fish flakes easily with a fork. And that normally takes around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the thickness of the fillet. Now, we normally serve, most persons normally serve fish with a sauce. And tartar sauce is one of the easiest and most regularly used, right? So half cup of mayonnaise, you'll need half cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle or capers, and half teaspoon of Dijon mustard, right, to taste. Or you don't really have to use the full half teaspoon because some children haven't really appreciated the, well, I haven't appreciated that, the taste of mustard, right? So how to make your easy, quick tartar sauce? You're simply going to put all your ingredients in a bowl and stir to blend. You're going to taste it and adjust the seasoning if it needs a little salt, and that's about it. Chicken veggie meatballs. So to make a chicken veggie meatballs, you will need the following ingredients. 1 pound chicken breast, half medium bell pepper, and I like red, but you can use any one, minced. 1 medium carrot, finely minced. 1 cup zucchini, finely minced. 3 tablespoons pesto. Half cup breadcrumbs, and that's plain breadcrumbs, not the seasoned one. Half teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon olive oil. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to start by prepping your vegetable mixture. So if you're using zucchini, you're going to need to dry it with a paper towel, right? And after you have dried the zucchini, you're going to add that. You're going to add it to a large bowl, and you're going to add the mince, carrot, and the bell peppers, right? Add the pesto, the breadcrumbs, the salt. Then you're going to, if you're using ground 1 pound chicken breast, you're going to need to grind your chicken breast before you combine it with the vegetables, right? So you can do that in a food processor. However, as a restaurateur or a caterer, you can just purchase ground chicken from a meat supplier. Of course, you have to ensure that you look at the quality of the meat, ensure that there's not a lot of fat pieces in there and stuff like that. And I guess that's why most times you tend to grind your own chicken breast, but the way it works. So you're going to fold in your ground chicken breast into your meat, your vegetable mixture, right? And you're going to try not to overwork the mixture, because if you do this, the balls are going to get really tight, right? So you're going to line a baking sheet with foil, drizzle it with a little oil, and then you're going to scoop your chicken balls, right? Normally you would use about a 1-inch size scoop or a 1.5-inch size scoop, depending on your meatball sizes. So you can use a melon baller or a tablespoon. So you're going to scoop up, roll your balls, and place them on the baking sheet. You're going to bake your meatballs for 10 minutes or until it starts browning, and then you can finish it under the broiler. Of course, if you're not using the broiler, you can just continue baking it in the oven until it bakes through, right? And it's cooked totally through. You can serve your veggie meatballs with your favorite sauce, your favorite pasta, or even in a sandwich, like a hot dog roll, but it's only a meatball sandwich. Again, this recipe has only 166 calories per serving, and this recipe serves 6. Third recipe that we're going to be looking at is quick brock mac and cheese, right? And this one is very convenient, it's very quick, because it actually uses box mac and cheese, right? So you're going to get 1 box of mac and cheese, 1 cup broccoli, which is already cooked or blanched, 1/2 cup grated cheddar cheese, and pepper to taste. Okay? You're going to prepare your macaroni and cheese just according to the instructions on the box. Then, after you're finished preparing it, adding your cheese and everything that came, the cheese packet that came with the box, you're going to add your cooked broccoli, your cheddar cheese, and your pepper to taste. And you're going to mix it, stirring everything, incorporate it. Then you can garnish it with whatever garnish you desire to put on top and serve it immediately. And the box of mac and cheese serves 3 children. Fish sticks. To make your fish sticks, you're going to need 1 pound cod fillet, defrosted if it's frozen. You can use any other mild white fish. 1 cup all-purpose flour placed in a shallow bowl, 4 large eggs beaten and placed in a second bowl. So we're basically making a breading station. 1 heaping teaspoon of sea salt. You can use regular table salt. 2.5 cups seasoned panko breadcrumbs. And this you're going to place in a third in shallow bowl or in a bag, whichever one is more convenient for you, and vegetable oil. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And you're going to prepare your roasting pans. We normally recommend, or I would recommend in this situation, that you use a roasting pan with a rack in it. Even if you can use one of your cooling racks, right? And that way the fish will cook on top and under the bottom, right? Because here in the hot air would circulate under the rack. And so both sides of the fish would get nice and crispy and the crumbs would fall off into the pan, right? So you're going to brush the racks lightly with oil. You're going to slice your cod into your desired strip, right? Your length about 1/2 inch by 3 to 4 inches long. You're going to pat and dry your fish with paper towels if you need to dry them. Then you're going to dredge them in flour. So we're basically going to bread them. We're going to dredge them in flour. Then we're going to dip them in the egg wash. Then we're going to cover them with the panko breadcrumbs. Then we're going to place the strips, the breaded fish strips, on the wire rack, right? After you've finished all of them, you're going to bake them for 8 minutes, flip them, and bake them for an additional 6 minutes, right? You can put them under the broiler for a minute just to get the crumbs to turn a little darker brown, if of course that is what you desire. If not, you'll just finish them in the oven and serve them with freshly squeezed lemon slices if it's older kids, or tartar dipping sauce if it's for younger kids, or both. Again, this recipe serves 6 and it is approximately 244 calories per serving. Chicken and cheese quesadilla. Ingredients: 4 flour tortillas, 8 inches in size, diameter. You need 2 teaspoons butter melted, 1/2 cup sweet corn, 1 cup shredded cheddar cheese, 1/3 cup finely chopped onions, 1 medium tomato diced, 1 cup diced cooked chicken. And you can use whether it is grilled chicken, poached chicken, barbecue chicken, whichever chicken you have or you want to use, you're free to use that. All right. Of course, you can add additional vegetables if you also desire. Brush one side of each tortilla with butter. Place 2 tortillas, butter side down on your griddle. Sprinkle the cheese, onion, corn, tomato, and chicken on top. Then you're going to put the 2 remaining buttered tortilla on it, and you're going to cook it over medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, right? When you're finished, you are, until it's lightly browned. When you're finished, you're going to cut it into wedges and serve again with a dipping sauce. This recipe has approximately 340 calories per serving, and it serves 4 persons, right? And that's what the chicken quesadilla looks like. Vegetable, well, vegan, crunchy tofu taco. And this is basically the recipe for the filling of the taco, and not so much the vegetables or the toppings, right? So the vegan crunchy taco is tofu. So you're going to need 1 tablespoon light oil, such as vegetable oil or canola oil, and 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 2 teaspoons chili powder, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon cumin. You need 1/2 teaspoon dried thyme, 1/2 teaspoon dried scallion, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, likewise for the garlic powder. 1 block, that is 350 grams, right, of extra firm tofu, drained. But you don't have to press it, just drain it is good. And you need some salsa, 3/4 to 1 1/4 cups, right? You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius, and you're going to line a sheet pan with parchment paper, right? Or you can just lightly grease your baking pan. You're going to mix your oil and your soy sauce and all the spices in a bowl, and that is going to give you like a brown paste-like concoction texture, And then you're going to, what you need to do after is crumble the block of tofu with your fingers or with a knife or fork, and you're going to put that in the bowl with the seasoning mix. Then you're going to mix the tofu crumbles with the seasoning, making sure that all the tofu is evenly coated. Spread the tofu crumbles evenly over or on the pan, the prepared pan, whether it's going to be parchment paper lined or lightly greased. You're going to spread your tofu on your pan, and then you're going to bake it in your preheated oven for 30 to 35 minutes. So while you do that, you can actually stir your tofu every now and again to ensure that it all gets dried. Please ensure that you keep an eye on your tofu in your oven, especially when it's closer to the 30 to 35 minutes time slot, because you want it nicely browned, not burned. The smaller crumbles, they look a little bit darker than the larger crumbles, but that's okay. That will provide variety in the texture. Right? You're going to remove your tofu crumbles from the oven and add to a pan or a bowl and mix in your 3/4 cup salsa. You may need to use more than the 3/4 cups depending on how watery you want how moist you want your tofu to be and how watery your salsa actually is, right? So you're going to add the salsa. You might have to adjust your seasoning to taste. Eat through and add to your hot taco shell, or you can serve that as a taco, as the recipe says. So you'd add your vegetables and whatever else you'd want to add to your taco, or you can actually add it to chili, or you can use it in other recipes. The approximate calorie per serving for your vegan crunchy tofu taco is 89 calories, and it serves 6. And that is a completed vegan crunchy tofu taco. Chicken nugget popsicles. So you would need chicken. 1 pound boneless chicken breast or 1 pound ground chicken, 4 slices of white bread or 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, that is unseasoned breadcrumbs, 1 medium onion minced, ½ tablespoon garlic pasted. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of water, ½ teaspoon white pepper powder, and that is optional. If you're going to be preparing this for younger children, you can leave this out. ½ teaspoon paprika powder, 1 tablespoon oil, 1 teaspoon salt, and that is to make the chicken nuggets. That's the chicken part. For the egg wash or the breading process now, you will need 1 medium egg, 1 tablespoon water, salt and pepper, and 1 cup of breadcrumbs. You also need oil for frying and 1 pack popsicle or lollipop stick. If sliced bread is used, cube and blend bread to make fine breadcrumbs. Now, instructions. In a bowl, in the bowl of your clean food processor, or if you have a high-powered blender, you can combine your 1 pound of chicken pieces, your breadcrumbs, your water, garlic, onion, salt, paprika, and pepper. And you're going to pulse until the chicken is finely chopped, but not totally smooth. You don't want to puree it until it's like water. After you're finished that, you're going to mix 1 tablespoon oil into the chicken mixture. Then with wet hands, you're going to roll and flatten your chicken mixture and cut it into small nugget patties. And that is about 1.5 to 2 inches for each nugget, right? So you'd be 1.5 on one side, 2 inches long, or of course, you can decide how you want to shape your chicken nuggets. You can also use a cookie cutter and get a nice little shape, whether it's going to be a flower or whatever you can get for your cookie cutter. You can also use that for your nugget shape, all right? Now to make the egg wash, you're going to whisk the egg with your salt, your pepper, and your water. That's in the section of the ingredients for the egg wash. And you're going to do all that in a medium bowl. You're going to dip the chicken nuggets in the egg mixture, then the breadcrumbs, and gently press the crumbs into the chicken, into your chicken nuggets. And you're going to set it aside on a clean pan. You're going to continue doing this until you have completed breading your nuggets. You do not want to pile your nuggets on top of each other. You're going to layer them in your pan. You need to layer them on a single layer in your pan. Okay? After you're finished doing that, you're going to freeze your nuggets for a minimum of 1 hour. After the time has passed, you're going to deep fry. You need to deep fry on medium to low heat for about 10 minutes till perfectly cooked and the breadcrumbs becomes golden brown in color. Let your nuggets cool for about 2 to 3 minutes before handling. Push a lollipop stick through the side of the nugget. You're going to push your stick only halfway through. You're not going to push it all the way, just halfway. Place your nugget lollipops on a platter and serve with your desired dipping sauce. So that's what your chicken nugget popsicles look like. Right. Okay. Tasty crispy cauliflower wings. Now this is a vegan menu item, and it has approximately 413 calories in total, and that is not per serving. That is the total menu item. That's the total calories in the cauliflower wings, the entire recipe. And it serves 8, depending on how you serve it. All right, ingredients: 1 large cauliflower or 2 small heads of cauliflower washed, 1 teaspoon celery salt, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1 teaspoon cumin, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon paprika, half teaspoon cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 cups all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, 1½ cups soy milk, 1½ tablespoon apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons hot sauce, and that again is optional, vegetable oil for frying. Cut your cauliflower in large florets. Transfer to a large bowl and set aside. In a small bowl, combine the celery salt, oregano, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, cayenne, salt, and pepper. Again, that is if you're using the cayenne. Normally, when I am making this recipe, I remove the cayenne when I'm doing it for children. Mix well. In a medium bowl, add half of the spices, the spice mix, to the flour. Add the cornstarch and mix. In a separate medium bowl, combine the soy milk and apple cider vinegar. Whisk that. Pour the remaining spice mix over the cauliflower florets and mix. Pour the milk mixture over the cauliflower. Mix well until they are coated. Cover with cling wrap. Place in the fridge for about an hour minimum. When you're ready, after the hour has passed, you're going to heat your vegetable oil in a large pan until it reaches 180 degrees Celsius. Toss each cauliflower floret in flour mixture until well coated. Shake off the excess flour. Dip back in the soy milk mixture and then back into the flour. But remember the soy milk mixture that you use to marinate, right? That's the same mixture. Then you're going to flour it again and fry it for about 4 to 5 minutes until golden brown and crispy. We're going to drain the pieces on a wire rack or paper towel. Let cool for 5 to 10 minutes before serving. Honey butter glazed carrots. You need ½ teaspoon salt, 1 pound baby carrots, 2 tablespoons butter, 2 tablespoons honey, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, freshly ground black pepper, and again, this is optional. Remember, for children, they like it seasoned and tasty, very flavorful, but not spicy. Very few children, younger kids like spicy food. 1/4 cup chopped flat leaf parsley, or whichever one you can get. Of course, you can use a scallion instead of the parsley to garnish, right? In a medium saucepan, bring water to a boil. Add salt and then add your carrots and cook until tender. And this takes about 5 to 6 minutes. Drain your carrots, add back to pan to, well, you can use that pan or a different one, doesn't matter, with butter, honey, and lemon juice. Cook until the glaze coats the carrot and it looks nice and glossy. And that takes about 5 minutes, right? So you can season with your pepper if you're going to be using the pepper and garnish with parsley. Easy meatballs. And this meatball is very easy, as I said, to make, right? For your meatballs, you're going to need ½ cup fine dry breadcrumbs, ½ cup milk, 1 large egg, ½ cup grated Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup finely chopped fresh parsley leaves, 2 teaspoons kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, 1 pound of ground meat, and you can use whichever one you desire. It can be beef, pork, turkey, chicken, veal, or a mixture of all of the above or any of the above, as long as it comes up to 1 pound. ½ cup finely chopped onion, or you can grate your onion, which is easier than chopping it on a coarse side grater. 1 clove garlic minced. So you're going to combine the milk and the breadcrumbs and place the breadcrumbs in a small bowl, right? So you're going to place all of that in a small bowl, stir to combine, and set aside, right? No, you're doing this because you're rehydrating your breadcrumbs and allowing them to become soggy so that your meatballs will be more tender and juicy. Whisk the egg, salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, and parsley in a large bowl. Okay. Then you're going to add your ground meat to your whisk Parmesan mixture. Your whisk Parmesan and egg mixture. And you can use your hands here or a spoon to mix and ensure that the egg mixture is fully incorporated. It's totally mixed together. Add your onions to your breadcrumbs and garlic. So you're going to add your onions and garlic to the soaked breadcrumbs, and then you're going to mix in your meat, right? So the soaked breadcrumbs, you're going to pour it into the onion. You're going to pour the onion, garlic, and the soaked breadcrumbs into your meat mixture, and then you're going to mix it together, right? Try not to overwork the meat. Again, if you mix it too much, you're going to have a tight meatball when you're finished. Then when you're finished mixing, you're going to form your meats into balls. So you can either use your finger to pinch it off, or you can use a scoop or melon baller or a tablespoon, right? You want each meatball to be about 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches, depending on, again, how large you want them. You're going to place your completed meatballs or your finished formed meatballs on a baking sheet and try to ensure that they don't touch. And you're going to bake them in a preheated oven at, you can bake them in a preheated oven, or you can broil them under the broiler, right? So if you're going to broil them, it's going to take 20 to 25 minutes. If you're going to roast it in the oven, you'll roast it at about 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes. Always ensure that you watch your meatballs closely when it's closer to the finishing time, right? Especially if the meat that you have used, your grounds, is extremely lean. If like 90%, no fat, or if it's very lean, then you know you're going to have a drier meatball if you allow it to dry out too much. So you have to ensure that you do not overcook your meatball. Your meatballs are done when they're cooked through. Brown on the outside and the inside register 165 degrees Fahrenheit, right? You serve that immediately. You can serve your meatball with sauce and with your favorite pasta. You can add the meatball to your pasta sauce and simmer it. That would actually soften up your meatball, especially if you have overcooked them a little bit, or you can serve them without adding them to the sauce options. All up to you. Next recipe is your chicken Alfredo dippers, and this is another proud favorite. For the ingredients, you'll need 1 section of pizza dough, and the pizza dough recipe is below this one, so you don't have to worry that you don't have pizza dough. So you'll need 1 section of pizza dough refrigerated, 1 cup Alfredo sauce, 2 cups shredded mozzarella cheese, 1.5 cups shredded chicken, 1 tomato diced, 1 tablespoon parsley. Again, you're going to preheat your oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Spread the pizza dough. You're going to roll it out or spread it out with your hand onto a parchment-lined pan. Whether it's going to be a sheet pan or a pizza pan, you know, doesn't matter. You're going to bake your pizza dough that's spread on your pan for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, you're going to top your slightly baked dough with Alfredo sauce, mozzarella cheese, tomato, and parsley. Then you're going to bake it for an additional 10 minutes. You're finished baking, slice, and serve with a dip. This is approximately 701 calories for the entire recipe, and it serves 5. And that's the chicken Alfredo dippers. So it's basically like sliced pizza. Pizza dough. For your pizza dough, you need 1 1/3 cups of warm water between 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 1/4 teaspoon instant yeast, or you can use your standard packet. If you purchase a pack with the small packets in there, you can use just one of those small packets. 1 tablespoon granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 3/4 teaspoon salt, 3 1/2 cups all-purpose flour, right? And you're going to need a bit more flour for rolling, for sprinkling on the surface and rolling, and a little bit of cornmeal for dusting your pan. To prepare your dough, you whisk the warm water with the yeast and the granulated sugar and allow it to sit or rest for 5 minutes. And this is going to allow the yeast to activate. Right? You can do this in a bowl if you don't have a stand mixer, or you can do it in your stand mixer if you have one. After the 5 minutes, you're going to add olive oil, a little salt, and your flour. And you're going to beat, if you're using your stand mixer, on low speed for 2 minutes. Turn the dough out after you're finished on a lightly floured surface. And with lightly floured hands, knead your dough for 3 to 4 minutes. Right? The dough can be a little heavy if you're using your mixer to knead it, but if you have a strong enough mixer, you can knead it on low speed. Right? After kneading your dough, the dough, when it's ready, it will be nice and soft. Right? When you poke it with your finger, it will slowly bounce back. And that's when you know that your dough is ready to rise. Place the dough in a lightly greased bowl. Right? And you can grease it with a little oil or non-stick spray, and cover the bowl with aluminum foil or plastic wrap or a clean kitchen towel. When you're greasing your bowl, ensure that the sides of the bowl all the way up is greased as well, not just the bottom. Allow the dough to rise at room temperature for about 60 to 90 minutes, depending on how warm your environment is, or until it doubles in size. Punch down and divide your dough into 2 equal parts. Shape your dough and flatten. Shape your dough into a slightly flattened ball or a square, and you can freeze until ready to use. This recipe gives you 2 12-inch size pizza. All right. So next is the pepperoni pizza dippers. For this recipe, you'll need, again, 1 part pizza dough. That is from the pizza dough recipe that we just discussed or just presented. and again, it is to be refrigerated. 1 cup marinara sauce, 2 cups shredded mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius. Spread your pizza dough onto your parchment-lined pan and bake again for 10 minutes. Top with your marinara sauce, your cheese sauce, and your pepperoni, and then you're going to bake it for an additional 10 minutes. Then you're going to slice it up and serve with a dip. Please ensure that when you're making this recipe, you do not overbake your pizza, right? You want it to be nice and moist. The pepperoni pizza dipper is approximately 540 calories, and it has 5 serves. It serves 5 persons. No. Hidden veggie marinara sauce. Ingredients for this hidden vegetable marinara sauce is 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 2.5 cup onions grated, 2 cloves garlic grated, 1 large carrot grated, 1 stalk celery grated, right? Your tomato, no salt added tomato sauce, the tomato paste, Italian seasoning, salt, black pepper. And to prep the vegetables, you're going to place your onion, your garlic, your carrot, your celery in a food processor, and you're going to mince all that. Then you're going to pour your vegetables in a bowl, set it aside. Then you're going to cook your vegetables. You're going to saute your onions and garlic, celery, all the vegetables over medium heat in a medium-sized saucepan with your vegetable oil. You're going to add your tomatoes, your tomato paste, your Italian seasoning, salt, and pepper, and you're going to bring it to a simmer. Then you're going to serve over your favorite pasta or meat dish, okay? All right. Now, for the interest of time, we're not going to go through all the rest of the recipes. We have a coconut vegetable polenta. I'm sure if you have your phone, if you're watching on your phone, or if you have a camera or anything, you can simply take a picture of it so you can have it for your records. So you have coconut vegetable polenta, you have creamy cucumber and tomato salad, right? Tropical salad, and this has a lot of our indigenous or native fruits. As if you notice, it's only 45 calories. Mango salad, which again, mango is now in season, so that's a good way to use a mango, incorporate a cheap ingredient item into your menu. Right, so the mango salad was the last recipe on the list. And now we're going to look at considerations when packaging for children's meal. Choose packaging options that provide a strong seal, right? And this is to ensure that all menu items are intact when the child gets his meal. Ensure your dish looks as appetizing as the moment it left your kitchen by providing a proper food packaging for each order. So you know if you are going to be preparing soup, you ensure that you have your proper cup. Choose purpose-designed containers. Keep food safe. Keep food safe, right? Before pickup. And this has to do with temperature as well as ensuring that your food is secured. We have discussed that in last week's presentation. Segregate your food items. Use sectional containers, as I've said before. Most kids do not like when their food is mixed. Place all your sauces and dressings and any other liquid in their own container, right? Again, children tend not to like messy food or items that their sauce has dripped all over. Okay, so that is serious consideration. These are some packaging ideas for packaging children's food. Last week we had discussed, not last week, our last presentation is week before last week, we discussed different, or we told you guys about different places where you can actually purchase these items. Okay, and that is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
All right, Alicia, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, but I'm not really seeing you.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, I just want to thank you very much for a very insightful presentation. We actually, I mean, just thinking about things like chicken nugget popsicles, I mean, I'm not a child and I myself am excited. So, I mean, there are some really exciting many options there. So really want to thank you for that. And if you are interested in getting in contact with Alicia to get the additional information on the recipes that you may have missed, or just to get her advice, you may contact her at alindsay@jbdc.net, or you may actually call in at 876-758-3966 to get access to her via telephone, and you can continue from there with your correspondence to get additional assistance. As she mentioned, and as we would have alluded to earlier, this is our second webinar in the series, Convenient Catering During COVID, but this was specifically focused on children's menu. And if you missed the previous webinar, Convenient Catering, or if you actually want to see any of our other webinars that we have done, please don't forget to go and check out our YouTube page, JBDC Jamaica, for full access to all our virtual content, not just JBDC Virtual Biz Zone, but also JBDC in Concert or the Entrepreneur's Journey. You can check out our channel to get access, and don't forget to like and subscribe and to click on the notification bell for full alerts once we have posted new content. So, any questions for Miss Lindsay? Such an insightful presentation, Alicia, and so many exciting recipe options. So, okay, Paula Surtees, sorry, has said, very good presentation. Where can I get containers? Can we get more options for a cafe?
Sure. In our last presentation, we had discussed some of the companies that supply the containers. I do not have them right with me right now, but I am sure if you look at the presentation, you'd see it. Or of course, you can message me privately and give me your email address, and I would respond to both your containers question and options for your cafe. So,
okay. All right, thank you very much, Alicia. Are there any more questions that you may have for Miss Lindsay? In the meantime, please don't forget that JBDC is here to assist you with your business development needs. And if you need any further assistance, you can actually either call or email us at info@jbdc.net, or you can visit any of our social media pages or contact us at 876-928-51615. That's 876-928-51615 for any additional information pertaining to our general business development support and services that we offer. As well, please remember, if you are interested in developing a product, or you may be focused on a particular industry such as food, you can contact the Technical Services Department, which is the arm of JBDC, responsible for assisting clients with product development. And you can contact us to get access to any one of our services, be it process flow, supply chain management, queue management, visual communications, consultations, and much more. So I see that Paula Surtees has asked for me to repeat Alicia's number. You may contact her via 876-758-3966-8. That's 758-3966-8. So, okay, Erica Nemhard has said thank you. And we really want to thank everyone for participating today and for being a part of this presentation. Next week, we will be looking at food label requirements. So please join us in that webinar, and we look forward to you participating as well. And until next week, since there are no more questions, I'm gonna wrap up. And until next week, please be safe and take care of yourselves. We look forward to having you here again next week.